What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Strength Classroom. Today, I'm showing you my max effort upper body workout, starting off with some medicine ball slams. And you can see it's not necessarily rotation, but I'm moving my core from, well, it is rotation if you look at my core, but it's not rotation in the typical. I even fucking wrote works on rotation, and I'm starting to disagree with myself. But you could even see it works the hips in a way because I have to switch my hips to get it from one side to the next. But it's not rotation. The reason I said that, it's not rotation in the typical sense, where like your lower body is staying stationary and your upper body is moving. But it does, in fact, have a rotational element. This is a 30-pound medicine ball. It's actually bigger than my 60-pound one. I don't know how that works out. It must just be a brand difference. And here, just to prime some pressing, you can see that I'm just, sure, obviously gravity's helping me, but I'm still trying to press as fast as I can into the floor. And then my max effort exercise for the day is close grip, paused, banded, bench press. I know that's a mouthful, but I could have easily gone with bands or chains on this day. It doesn't matter. Typically, I use chains for max effort and bands for dynamic effort. But sometimes I do switch it up. I do feel like bands do play a better role for dynamic effort, just for the fact that it lowers the bar faster. Whereas when you have chains, you can still have control over the lowering phase. Not that you can't with chains, or sorry, with bands, but the bands are almost going to pull you downwards, whereas the chains are just getting lighter as you go downwards. So here's 250 pounds plus 50 pounds of band, roughly, for 2. And then this is the top set. I figure I'm going to do 1 or 2 reps. We'll see how the first one goes. And as you know, I always like to leave a little bit in the tank. There's no point getting PRs every week or huge PRs every week. It's all about the stimulus. And now I did 10 cluster reps here. So I stripped off some weight, about 40 pounds, and I was going to do 10 reps in as little sets as possible. So you'll notice later the cluster sets, they end up being, a lot of them end up being singles. So I get about 50% of the way there, and that's always my goal, to get 50% or more. 50 to like whatever one more rep than 50% is, that's always going to be the goal. Because I know there's going to be a heavy drop off. Now these are all like 30 seconds or less rest. And that's why you see me going singles here, just for the fact that, yeah, sure, if I rested 5 minutes, I can get more reps than 1, but it's the accumulating effect of having the 1 reps. And yes, I got that. I just like to overlay before the next exercise. And then some heavy barbell rows, 275, 2 sets of 10. This is starting to maybe, I don't know. I feel like I'm just moving heavyweight for the sake of moving heavyweight when it comes to these barbell rows. But that easily can carry over here as long as I'm getting a good contraction. You know what I mean? Like I'm pulling it off the floor with my back. I'm not necessarily just yanking it and doing these little short strokes. Like I am feeling the bar shove into my abdominals, and you can see I'm getting my chest up, so that means I'm arching my mid back and I'm arching my lats as well, and that is what is creating the rowing action. So as of right now, I think maybe 275 is about the heaviest I'm going to row. And oh shit, I realize I'm not even using straps because I have been doing a lot of grip work. Like I have been doing a lot of grip work, whether it's Gripito or really that's all I've been doing actually now that I think about it. The Gripitos allowed me to train my grip and strengthen my wrists, a whole bunch of things, and I suggest you get one. Z press, seated one arm, or yeah, I guess seated one arm Z press on the floor. Here's a 70-pound kettlebell. I work up to just a bunch of reps. With this, you can count them. And then I switch sides, and then I did some lower volume, or not really lower volume, sorry, lower weight for a high amount of reps. It's the, I think I pulled out a 45-pound kettlebell. But here, like, I always feel like these one arm presses just carry over better. Just there's a tiny bit of core stimulus. I'm not shitting on the standard overhead press with a barbell, but I feel like if you get strong on these, you're almost automatically stronger at standing overhead press. I remember all I did was kettlebell work about a summer ago for overhead pressing, and then I easily could throw 185 over my head for 6 reps, and that's like without even practicing the movement, which is quite impressive. You always want to find lifts that'll build the lifts without having to do the lifts, if you know what I mean. That sounds like a Dr. Seuss, a Dr. Seuss child's play about like lifting weights. But just because of the different like variables, like you see my legs are straight, they're out in front of me. The kettlebell, the way the weight is distributed in my hand, the fact that I'm offset, all these things carry over into stronger pressing. And I'm a really big fan of doing sets of 25 on honestly anything, whether it's a compound movement, isolation movement, anything like that. I find they're not useless. If they're your main modality for lifting weights, then yeah, they're kind of useless. But in addition or complement to heavy weights, then yeah, they are absolutely a great way to get stronger. And then just getting more metabolites and more lactic acid into the muscle is always going to be beneficial for just about any goal. But muscular endurance is very important. Especially, I've noticed people think that muscular endurance is nothing. And yeah, if you're just someone that's lifting weights to get big and strong, but like endurance is very important. And I hate to harp on, yes, I get it. I've mentioned I am a jujitsu hobbyist. I'm definitely not a competitor at this point, nor do I feel like I would ever want to. But doing things like that, it's not to get better at jujitsu. It's to highlight that I have a weakness in my body and I should probably be addressing that. So my grip is getting strong. That's a 70-pound kettlebell. And when I first started this, I was using the 45-pound. So that I can attest right then and there how much stronger my grip is actually getting. My forearms don't look that much bigger, but I always had fairly big forearms compared to my upper arm. Like they look about the same, even though I know they're not. But my forearms have always been big. People have always commented on my forearms. Maybe not so much over video, but in person, they look a lot bigger. A lot bigger than they would over video. Here's Zotman curls. You curl up traditionally and then do a reverse curl on the way down. They're good for elbow strengthening. That's what I would say. And good for wrist as well. So you could see my accessory exercises were targeting the grip the most. You have some upright rows with a rope. And that's all there is. I repeat that a couple of times and I'm done. If you like this video, ladies and gentlemen, like, share, subscribe, do all the good stuff. And as always, have yourself a great day.